India's legendary spinner R. Ashwin has announced his shocker of an announcement in the middle of the Border-Gavaskar trophy. It was a hug that an emotional Ashwin shared with Virat Kohli in the dressing room that sparked the speculation. Ashwin confirmed it later, saying that he has a bit of a punch left in him but wants to now showcase it in club cricket. Tributes poured in after the shock retirement of the world's 11th highest wicket taker across all formats. Former Australian spinner and Fox cricket commentator Brad Hogg has said that he sensed some frustration kick in Ashwin with the amount of changes India made with spinners in the first 3 tests. But Rohit Sharma has cleared the air, revealing that Ashwin wanted to retire after the first test, but it was he who asked Ashwin to wait until after the pink ball test, and hence the retirement was announced after the Gaba result. Joining me on the telecast is Atul Wassan. He's a former Indian cricketer and now a cricket commentator. Atul Wassan, big shocker that R. Ashwin, the caliber that he showcases in terms of the spinner, second biggest spinner with taking the wickets, number 1 being Anil Kumble. What may have been the reason that he decided to retire in the middle of the test series that is taking place in Australia? Was it his bad knee, the injury that he had sustained, or was there a pecking order where Washington Sundar was up ahead of him and that sort of caused him the disgruntlement?
They must give us a succession plan to the selectors. They can't just get miffed and just retire. I don't understand this. Middle of the tour, middle of the test match, you're doing this. It's not good for the team morale. You have been picked. You might not be perfect for a particular ground or surface or the balance of the team. And then you have to carry on. It's happened to him before also. We played World Test Championship in England without him. And that was a big thing because we lost badly. Where he should have played, he didn't play. Where he didn't play, he should have played. So, this is what happens. But going to Australia, where he's put his hand up to be selected, and suddenly, if you get dropped in a match, you can't do this because this leaves the team in a disarray. Because now you know that you've got a guy who's got to go out. Mahendra Singh Dhoni did that in Australia. I don't know what is this, the water of Australia or the air there. When people just they say that okay, that's enough. But now it's happened. We must take the hat off to what he's achieved, what he's done. It's amazing what he's achieved over his 3 years in all formats. His batting also, I must mention at this point, that won many matches for India, defended many matches for India. But I hope he's going not peeved at not getting his place in the 11 in every match. And it's just not that reason only.
But Atul, his remarks at this point of time are being understood as perhaps he is not being satisfied with the kind of role he was playing within the team. Sunil Gavaskar has also come out and criticized him for the very reason that how could he decide to quit right in the middle of a series that the country is playing, that the team is playing. Now, there is also a comment that is at this point of time circulating saying that he felt that if he was not needed in the team in this series, then he was better off not playing.
But that he's such an intelligent man. And I am totally with Sunny Bhai. Because, I feel that this is, I will not use the word, deserting. And not use the word traitor. But, when you have put your hand up, you can't say that, if you don't fit in the team's scheme of things, you won't have been picked in the touring squad. But once you're there, then you have to go and be backing, back the team management about the surfaces. And you can't just have your own overestimations over the team leadership group. So I think within the tour, he shouldn't have done it. If he would have wanted this to be cleared, he should have asked the team, okay, will I play all the matches? If you don't think that I'll play all the matches, I will not go in this tour. That would have been a better bet. Yeah. Then India would have moved to plan B, but not like this.
Okay. Sunil Kalra also on the telecast with me. Sunil, now Rohit Sharma, the skipper of the team, has tried to go ahead and, an attempt to cover up over why Ashwin decided to quit mid-series. He said that Ashwin had come up to him, had expressed his dissatisfaction and said that he would like to not play the series. But it was Ashwin who persuaded him to carry on with the test series.
Well, you've got to see Ashwin is a team player altogether. and that was his way of coming back into the game and helping it. Realize that he is the senior most player in the team, and he's been there since 2011. So I think he did what a great soldier would have done at that point of time. In fact, there were murmurs that you should allow him to take charge of one section of the team and carry it forward. But it was little too late and little too less for him.
Okay.
Mega.
All right. Also, Sunil, is this, when we take a look at the way, on an average, cricketers have decided to hang up their boots, decided to withdraw themselves and retire from international cricket, all forms of international cricket. He's 38 years of age. Is this age perhaps the right time, on an average, the way Indian cricketers or cricketers across the globe have decided to hang up their boots?
A very good question, but you look at Jimmy Anderson at 42, he retired, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni at 43 is still playing the IPL. You've got to realize that once you retire, the chapter is closed. There are far more lucrative things that are up in place. For example, I can tell you there are private leagues, there are important private tours that keep on happening, and you can play the other leagues across the world. That's far more lucrative than to be waiting for a series and then coming back into force. Mega?
Absolutely. Noel David is a former Indian cricketer, also on the telecast with me. Noel, what next for R. Ashwin?
It's a big question. He himself should answer what he's going to do. But he's been a great servant to Indian cricket. Whatever records he has created and achieved for him, I think that shows huge respect towards his career. But as Atul and as was saying, that middle of the tour retiring causes speculations. You see, people will start talking. That's why they start creating unnecessary talks, which is coming out in the air at present. And I don't think that's good for Indian cricket at present, which is happening on a tour, which is very interesting at the moment with 1-all. I think all this happening is very, very sad. So I think R. Ashwin at present will be looking forward for his second inning.
Okay.
I think IPL is still there, and he may play a few games there and then retire.
Yeah, but what do you think of these rumors at this point of time floating that there could be a possibility that he was not happy, that he was lower down in the pecking order, and he was being favored. Washington Sundar was being favored more than him in the series.
I don't think so. See, he must have been aware of it, and I think the cricket management, the management has already clearly told him, you may play certain games or you may not play certain games. And Sundar has already done well at home. He is against the New Zealand. I think playing him ahead than Ashwin. I think that I don't think that has troubled him. I think he thought the time has come because the way he wanted to go he's not able to go. I thought he must have thought if he had a game he would have retired, but unfortunately the way he's going, I think no one will like it.
Okay, I'm going to come back to Atul. Atul, again, the way forward, do you think there is at this point of time an aspiration now for Ashwin to join the IPL league?
Well, he's already playing that IPL league, and he's realized that it's a low-hanging fruit, the T20 game, which I think doesn't demand much, and even if you don't do well, it doesn't linger on in your psyche. Test match, when somebody has achieved so much in test matches, then what you're doing, what he's going to do now, will be eating humble pie. But such is the time. But I think last 4 test matches he's played, he did well with the bat in one test match. I remember in New Zealand against New Zealand, but India lost to New Zealand in India when Ashwin and Jadeja were playing, and Sundar was playing also. So I think Sundar did better, and in the one match he's played in Australia, he's had one match. So I think that is the story, but he should have carried on. Even if he is not in the 11, he should have seen out the tour. He should have said, I will retire after this tour. You can't just say that in the middle of the tour that, I'm not getting a chance and I'm retiring. This will leave a bad taste, for me at least.
Do you think Dhoni faced similar criticism? Because as you mentioned, when he decided to retire in 2014 and he went on and retired right in the middle of a series that was taking place, did he also witness such severe criticism as Ashwin is facing right now?
Not really, because Dhoni had created a space for himself where nobody can criticize. He's the god of cricket, and I criticized him, and I got a lot of hate mail but he was the captain of the tour, and he just overnight decided he's not going to play, which was very weird for me. You don't do that in cricket, at least. You don't leave a man behind. You are the captain of the tour. Captain, oh my captain is a very nice poem, and it's based on cricket ethos. So that was a strange thing. When I probably Dhoni, with his CSK years of rubbing shoulders with him, has got this germ or a virus from Australia.
All right. Sunil, coming back to you, when you're talking about the IPL cricket, commercial cricket, do you think that's cricketers are pulled towards the game and therefore they would rather want to focus because there's big money involved, and therefore sideline themselves after they have achieved a certain milestone that they had aspired for example R Ashwin, they want to focus on IPL, they want to earn larger sums of money and then be auctioned off at the highest to the highest bidder, and perhaps that's also playing in the mind of R Ashwin today. Okay, the same question to you, Noel, while we get back Sunil into the telecast.
No, first of all, I don't think so. All this will be playing in his mind. He's served the country for a long period, and he knows what is right, what is wrong. And I don't think that IPL auction or IPL thing is right. He has what he has done. I don't know what has occurred for him to retire at the middle of the tour. But leaving aside all this IPL, I don't think that has created him, to retire and think about, about IPL. I don't think so. This is all shouldn't be a cause for his retirement.
Let's take a look at the glory days of R Ashwin. Now, which are those test matches and one-day international cricket tours that the people, the legends of the cricket arena are going to remember R Ashwin by? Noel, the question is for you.
Come again?
What are those matches, those series that the world is going to remember R Ashwin by?
There's a lot of matches which he has single-handedly, has won India, especially at home. And not to forget his crucial knocks which he has played. Those vital hundreds which he has got. When he off spinner who's got more than 300 to 400 in test series, test matches, and I think that's a great achievement as an offie who can bat, and that's I think a huge respect which a lot of people will adore him for what he has done. And basically, the most important thing, he has been a great servant to the Indian cricket as a true cricketer, as a true player, who has always went out there in the middle and fought for the country, bowled well for the country, batted well, and whenever it's needed, he has performed. So I think a lot of people will remember in this aspect. He's been a true gentleman of the field. He's been a very nice guy, and whatever I heard about him during this, they said he's a very down-to-earth person, and I think that's what people will remind him as I'm a cricketer who has represented our country, and
right.
we pay a lot of respect to him.
Okay, Atul, coming to you now, looking forward, how does the Indian cricket team, the team 11 at this point of time, is finding itself? Do you think it could flounder? Do you think there is a vacuum that has been created by R Ashwin? Are there potential players, potential spinners within the team that could fill the gap?
We have some spinners, but he was part of the team tank. He was a senior player, 106 matches he's already played. He's got 600s, he's more than 537 wickets in just test matches. So it spoils the team's balance, because when you picked him for the whole tour, we're only halfway through the tour. And then we'll manage. We'll somehow manage. It's not that it's so critical that we're losing somebody who is winning matches for you. But it's just from now on, it will be the job of the team management like Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, the senior players, to just feel that and make him, and will he just come back or will he carry on for the tour? I don't know. But will we send a replacement? If it was an injury or something critical that, okay, he can't play anymore, But the reason on the fourth day of a third test match of a
Yeah.
tour, you decide to do that. I don't still know a lot of the micros of what has transpired, what has happened. But anyway, I mean, the king is dead. Long live the king. We all say we'll find
Okay.
somebody else. We've always did.
Okay, all right. Sunil, coming to you again, which are the names that pop in your head who could be potential players that could replace Ashwin, or do we already have Washington Sundar who is taking charge?
Replacing Ashwin, I think it's a far-fetched pipe dream for now, for all the Indian fans right now, because it'll take a matter of like 2 or 3 years, and both these gentlemen would agree that there is something called succession planning. It was imminent to know that Ashwin was going down 35, 36. I think by then you would have had a succession plan in place. But right now, I think we are like a cat on the hot tin roof right now.
Again, I would like to understand from you. So are you saying that we have a paucity of, potentially good spinners, and if India were to lose the Test series against Australia, would the blame squarely be put on Ashwin?
Not at all. I think he's India's fastest 50 wicket grabber, 100 wicket, 200, 250, 300. So he's the fastest and one of the best. The blame will rather come onto the think tank for the last 2 years, because they know that the off spinner suddenly needs time to mature, and there needs to be a succession planning, which didn't happen in this case, sadly. After Ravichandran Ashwin, I think we've got to move progressively ahead for Ravindra Jadeja. What if he comes back? Thankfully, we have a half a replacement in Akshar Patel with the solid with bat and great with bowling and fielding. But somehow, there is a big vacuum that needs to be filled, and I don't think so that can be filled in the next 6 months, considering if India goes and plays the WTC final.
Ajit, the same question to you. Do you think India can now fill the vacuum that has been created by R. Ashwin? Who are the players that could be picked, who can be potential wicket takers, spinners who could be wicket takers for India? Again, and if India loses this series, who will the blame be put on? Noel, the question for you.
Sir, I don't think there's a big. I've been around this circuit, being coaching, so I've been watching a lot of cricketers. I don't find any off spinners so impressive at this moment in our country. There was Jalit Saxena. I think he's also past that age at present, because he was one of the finest off spinners. We're still playing domestic cricket. There is Sundar, who is still, in on and off he was, but at the latest he's been given an opportunity. Beyond Sundar, I don't see anybody else. I hope that the BCCI comes forward, or the NCA gather themselves and look into the office, because this is a huge vacuum which has to be fulfilled at the earliest for the Indian cricket, because the moment Ashwin is going, I think the vacuum has to be filled. And I think as Sunil has rightly said, it is going to depend on the think tankers, because they should have planned it well before.
Okay, Sunil, do you think Ashwin may have taken his decision selfishly? Again, the question about why he has decided to controversially quit in the middle of the series. Could he have thought it out better for the morale of the team? Because of the fact that you're playing for India, and it is a prestige battle. If you win the match, if you win the series, you are going to be, garnering the laurels, and thereby also putting India's achievements in terms of a tight fight, which has always been a difficult situation when it comes to India being pitted against Australia.
Well, if you see the Border-Gavaskar trophy, from time immemorial, all your big players have been retiring in that point of time. Certainly, you've got Ganguly, Dravid, Lakshman, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He retired in the middle of a tour, and suddenly Virat Kohli had to take in and walk in for the toss. These things happen, these are very impulsive things. A player thinks about it. At the end of the day, it's a player's call. You've got to respect that. And no matter what the experts say, what the statistics say, what it is actually at the end of the day, a player looks at himself in the mirror and decides emotionally that, okay, this is it. So I think that famous tour of Michael Jackson, this is it. I think it is a page out of that history. He decided that this was it and he couldn't carry it further because ultimately the body has to respond in a certain way. And mind you, this is it not just for the Border-Gavaskar trophy. I mean, he's going to come back playing for IPL, then he goes back playing for the Legends, then he goes back and does the gully cricket, which he promotes very selflessly. So I think this is the end of Ravichandran Ashwin from the Indian jersey and not from cricket. I think we've got to make that distinction.
Okay. Also, Sunil, talking about you gave us the instances of a number of Indian players who have decided, who ended up making the decision that they are going to quit from international cricket from the Indian side, so is this a jinx that we see of the Border-Gavaskar Cup, the trophy that is played in Australia, and if you could give us the statistics, every single time that a player has decided to retire, how well has India performed?
Well, I'm a stats man, but I can't give you that particular stat. But all I can tell you that before every World Cup and after every Border-Gavaskar trophy or the Ashes trophy, whenever India goes down playing a big subsequent test or a series or a ICC championship, heads roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the kind of, I mean, just look at the World Cup. After winning the World Cup, India, the two of the greatest batters of Indian generation retired, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli from the T20. So this is what the big match, big occasion does. If you perform, you are rewarded. If you don't, then you certainly perish. And in this case, I think he had his own view and he said, okay, enough was enough. And I'm saying thank you with respect. And look at the love and adulation that he's getting from all across the world. I mean, I can see it on the screen right now on NewsX.
Right, absolutely. All right, on that note, I thank both of you for joining me on the telecast, and I'll take a short break. Of course, India continues to venerate R. Ashwin for the spectacular innings that he has had in international cricket and the laurels that he has brought for our country. Thanks for watching.